more secure now. Putting all the emphasis on the quads and pushing back up. Now, obviously, if you don't have the knee mobility to do this, don't try it. But so for today's workout, I started off with an hour on the manual treadmill. Did 1 minute backwards, 30 seconds forward, and kept alternating that for about an hour. Now I'm moving into some landmine strength work, but I guess I want to do a lot of staggered stuff today, so that's going to be kind of my focus. Not going to try and push, I guess, the weight, but I want to go push for the reps. So like I'm going to go for like 2 plates for maybe 15 or whatever. Like I want to push the reps, but not necessarily the weight. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Let's go to the first working set. So, doing staggered squats. Going for 10 each side. I think in the intro I was saying 15. What I really meant was 10 because 10 each side would become 20. I was thinking, yeah, whatever. But yeah, let's finish the other side now. Not really supersetting that with anything. Uh, I feel like I got my heart rate high enough during the manual treadmill. So, at least for the next couple of sets, I'm just going to focus on doing this for as many reps as possible. I'm keeping it with this weight for 10. Let's see if I go heavier. So, decided to go a little heavier on the staggered squats. Doing this for 10 each side would be a rep PR. So yeah, that's kind of what I meant by I want to push it, like push the weight, but I'm still pushing the weight, but I'm pushing the weight for the reps, not for, I guess, the weight. I don't know if that makes sense. All right. That was brutal, but good rep PR. So for the next exercise, doing landmine hack squats, it feels like over time I've kind of created my own like 4 or 5 exercises that I gravitate towards. So it's like the staggered landmine squats, pretty much any kind of squats on the landmine that involves staying on the toes. Then the hack squat. Anyway, with the hack squat, one of the things that I'm doing today is just to, I guess, spice it up a little, is I'm stepping further ahead than usual. And when I sit down, I'm trying to get my butt to touch the floor so that it's like literal ass to grass. Going for 8 each side. Oh God, my quads are absolutely burning. They have the music blaring again at the gym, so editing is not going to be fun. But yeah, again, kind of pushing the reps. I usually with these kind of stuff would do 5 each side, but now I'm doing like 8. And trying to, it's more of a burn than a strength output. So I wanted to build more endurance with the strength rather than just keep progressing the weight. I think sometimes you can get lost just trying to progress weight, and you need to take time to building up your endurance with the lighter weights, and that seems to eventually lead to strength gains down the road. I think there's something about like you getting really used to just being in that position and doing that form repeatedly and getting the form right, that when you get it so good at it at lighter weights, when the heavier weights come about, um, you're able to do it in a much more confident way, which leads to bigger lifts. Anyway, I'm gonna do a couple more sets of this. Yeah, let's see what happens after. So with the hack squats, I like to do this. I guess it's a sissy variation, is what you'd call it. Um, but I'll show you what I mean. So when the uh, so the thing to pay attention to is my feet placement, and I really hope the camera is uh, seeing this. But hey, can you see if the camera can see my feet? Okay. Thank you. All right. So what I'm trying to do is stay on my toes, and I'm contracting my glutes. It kind of forces my body to be at an angle. And here and at this angle is when I'm going to initiate the knee bend. So that forces the knees to come down at a straight angle, putting all the emphasis on the quads and pushing back up. Now, obviously, if you don't have the knee mobility to do this, don't try it, but this is a way by which I'm able to completely isolate the quads using this movement, staying on my toes, contracting the glutes, coming down at a steady angle. My heels pretty much touch my butt. And then squat back up. But yeah, that's a thing I'm doing with the hack squats to emphasize the quads. Anyway, going to do that for a little longer. Let's see what happens next. So for calves, keeping the landmine on the shoulder, and I'm really focusing on stepping back and leaning. The reason for that is the more, the further back I am with my heels planted on the floor, the deeper stretch I'm getting on my calf, the more my calf has to stretch for the heel to stay planted on the floor. So the more you're able to move it back, the more you're able to start your calf off in a stretched position. And then raise, going for 10 on each shoulder. Um, so for the second calf movement on the landmine, squatting down as if to do like a toe squat, but this is going to be the starting position. You're going to stay here the whole time, and you're just going to raise the calves. I recommend doing these barefoot. The shoes that I'm using allows my toes to bend, and you really want to feel that like that toe stretch. Like you want your big toe to be stretching at the bottom position, and if your shoes don't necessarily permit it, then do it barefoot, or get yourself one of these barefoot feel shoes. But yeah, getting deep into the squat and contracting the calves. But yeah, two landmine calf movements for you guys to try out. So ending off with some cable good mornings, kind of just to hit the posterior chain as well. A lot of the work today was focused on quads, so adding a little bit of mobility and strength component and hitting the posterior chain. On the cable good mornings, I do go reasonably heavy, so I don't think it's right to think of it as though it's just a stretch or a mobility exercise. It's essentially, ooh, it's essentially stiff leg deadlift, but you're doing it with the cable, and there's much more of a mobility component, I guess. I like to have these at least a couple of times every week. If, I mean, bare minimum one, I'd say ideally 3 or 4. And I think, like, I probably hit that mark if you check out the videos. Recently, what I've come to notice is that I have like a tight left lower lat, and so in the good mornings, I'm really focusing on kind of uh, like stretching that lower area. So I'm kind of like rotating my palms inwards to kind of get uh, a stretch in the lower lat. I'm wearing baggy clothes, so it's probably not really visible what I'm doing, but anyway, I guess the moral of the story is play around with how you're flaring your elbows and stuff, and if you feel like any area is tighter than the other, try to get it untight by figuring out your own angles. Alright, some post-workout posing. I was actually not planning on this, but my bus is not coming for another 30 minutes, so might as well do something to fill the time. Current physique status. Like, regardless of, I think I look pretty good on camera, but I do feel a little bloated. Pretty solid in that pose. Let's try to get a quad shot. My hair's all messy, but yeah, let's try to get a quad shot. My hair's too messy. Okay. That's better. I feel more secure now. Yeah, the legs are looking not too bad. Ideally, I want some more definition in it, but it is what it is. Anyway. Alright, that's all for today. Yeah, see you in the next video.